Okay, so today in my stories I went into talking about gate 44 in human design and relating that with money. So I am going to continue talking about this in here just because I think this gate is very powerful. Just because in the way it works in its lowest expression and also the way it works in its highest expression is so interesting. So I have this gate, I have gate 44. So I've noticed it in my experience that I definitely always tend to have like this fear of like the past repeating itself, like certain situations that happened in the past that happen again, especially when it comes to, I don't know, like when I see a situation like looking like it's going to repeat itself, when I see similar patterns happening and similar things, and I'm like, oh no, this is going to happen again. This is going to happen again. And then I get scared, and then it does happen again because, again, creator of my own reality and getting in my head. And so what I have learned with this, having this gate, is that when there are those repeating patterns, there is something that there's a lesson there. And those who do have gate 44 in the highest expression, like we have the ability to intuitively see the patterns. We see the patterns happening in the moment, and we see it kind of come into fruition. And in what we do sometimes in our lowest impression is we'll hold ourselves back, or we won't take certain risk, or we won't do certain things because we are afraid of like that bad thing that happened, last year or 5 years ago with this same repetitive pattern. They're afraid it's going to happen again. But then in the highest expression, where this is how we can shift this, is tapping into what is a pattern showing us? Like, what is a lesson here? What happened last time, and what was there for us to learn? Like, what was there for you to learn in that last time? And from there, decide like what the lesson is. What have you learned about yourself? And do you want to repeat this pattern or not? Because you inevitably have that choice. You are the creator of your own reality. So you can choose whether this pattern repeats itself, or you can choose and say, hey, I'm done with this pattern. This pattern is done. And if the pattern happens again, it means that you haven't really learned the lesson, or you haven't really dove deep into yourself, into seeing like what is being shown to you. And so there is a beauty, because gate 44, we can see the pattern. We can truly see it, and we can see it unfolding. But what ends up happening is that you tend to like freak yourself out and make yourself small instead of taking that risk. Because like, what if you took that risk? What if you made that jump? Maybe that would break the pattern. Maybe not. Maybe there's something else that needs to break that pattern. But by keeping yourself small, especially when it comes to money, like not making a certain investment where that investment can be the greatest thing that happens to you, but because you made that investment in the past, you use up the past evidence as your current evidence, and you're like, oh, well, in the past when I made this investment, shit hit the fan. Or holding yourself back into love, right? Or into taking on that new job, that dream job, because in the past when you made those risks, when you've taken that, something bad happened. And so especially when it relates to things falling apart, you're using that old evidence. And the thing is, it's old evidence. That's all it is. It's in the past. It's not gonna repeat itself unless you want it to repeat itself deep down. And so seeing old evidence as they are, this is where you take yourself out of your body, and you take yourself out of your emotions, and you just look at it and you just see them as evidence. You don't see it as anything more than that. The minute we put a meaning to this evidence, the minute that we attach ourselves to this evidence, that is when we take that evidence and we're like, well, because it happened this way, then it's going to happen this way now. But that's not true. That's not true. Unless you want it to be true. And that is ultimately your choice. And so you choose what you desire to do with money. Like, if I'm going to like kind of take this and relate this to money, you choose if you want to change your story and your relationship with money, and taking away those things in the past, taking away the past evidence, and saying, starting now, this is a relationship I want to have with money. This is the story I'm creating with money. Yes, money may have screwed me over in the past, but starting now, it's not going to be this way anymore. And you get to choose that. Because again, and I keep saying this over and over, money is just a tool. It's neither positive nor negative. It is what you make of it. And it is what your relationship makes of it. And so if you choose to stay in the negative, if you choose to stay in that there's not enough, if you choose to stay in the, it takes money to make money, or, you need to work hard to make money. If you choose to say that, then that is what your reality is going to present to you and what the universe is going to continue to present to you. But if you choose that things come to you easily, if you choose that you're always abundant and that money is always going to find its way to you, if you choose that your bills will be covered at the end of the month and then you'll still have leftover money, more money than you know what you could do with, you choose that. And then you co-create with the universe. You follow the breadcrumbs, even when it feels like it's not working, even when it feels like you're not seeing the evidence unfold. You keep going. You hold space for yourself. You keep going. As there's been in the past where I didn't feel abundant, where it's been crickets, where nothing's happening, and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm doing all this inner work on money, and there's like nothing's coming true. But I still hang on because I know deep down inside that this work works. And then it unfolds. And then next thing you know, I have like a free bike. I have free espresso beans. I have like a free food processor that I just received. And these were stuff on my list that I desired. And I just received them. I got a Bialetti for like cheaper than what it is on Amazon. Trust the process, and whatever relationship you desire to have with money, know that you can shift it and you can make it to whatever you desire it to be. The problem is that sometimes we just get in our heads about it a little too much, and we stay stuck in the past of like all this old evidence that has happened and what has happened in the past and what we've seen and our experiences with money and our wounds with money, and then that's in the past. It's the past. Let it go. Let it go. That's the past version of you. And if there is this past version of you that you're struggling letting go, tap into your inner child. Go see your inner child. Go say hi to him or her and see how they're feeling, and nurture them and be there for them and hold space for them. Because maybe that little you in you just needs to be held for a moment and heal before moving on to the next thing. And so that is today's live. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, comment. Yeah, that's it. So thank you for watching. I'll speak to you all soon.